Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the live stream of your Cisco Live 2023 Amsterdam. I am coming to you from the beautiful guy here at the front of the hub. My name is Steve Moulter. Okay, what is the hub? Well, this is where all 10,000 attendees here at the show are gathering for creativity, for motivation, for great ideas, for challenges, friendly competition, social media, coffee, pizzas, stroopwafels, all of it. Everything that really makes Cisco Live, Cisco Live. Let's check out a few of the cool things happening in the room. I'm going to go out to my own Rob Boyd, who is with our fantastic RF team over at Capture the Flag. Rob, what's going on out there?
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite areas, Steve, because this is a full-on gamification, and it's been packed in here. Everybody's been walking in trying to get a slot, but I don't want to try and tell the story without the expert here. Tell us what's happening in this space, because you were talking about storylines around certain products, issuing challenges, and winning awards. How does that work?
Hi, Rob. So my name is Anand. We are here with Capture the Flag, which are gamified hands-on labs. So you get to learn different Cisco technologies, which go from enterprise networking, security, data center, collaboration, Meraki, and everything else. So you get to learn these things from a beginner level to an expert level in a gamified way through like a treasure hunt. So you can learn different things. Here, if you see, we also have, this is our kingdom of CTF. So we have campus, branches, Thousand Eyes, endpoint securities, red teaming. You can learn hacking, investigation, data center, all the things. On Thursday, we are going to have our award ceremony. So the winners of Capture the Flag, the top one winner, are going to get a challenge coin, which is a collectible in the Capture the Flag world, and people die to have that. So we'll have an award ceremony tomorrow. And that's our leaderboard where all the progress is tracked. So as you can see, the people here on top, they have spent at least 12 to 15 hours in last 2 days spending only doing only Capture the Flag. We also
Yeah, no problem. I was going to ask you a question though on this, which is, it sounds like with people spending this many hours, are you having to bring in food, or you have to ask them to leave when you close down, or how do you handle the time limits?
Oh,
they come and go.
They can come here anytime. They can play as much as you want. They can leave in between and come back again when they have time. The progress is saved, and that's how they end up spending 15 hours and even more.
That is incredible, and thank you so much for that, guys. If you're interested whatsoever in doing this kind of thing, you can see exactly what you need to accomplish on the board here. What kind of time has been put in by everybody. Just a quick mention here. Over here, they got IoT hacking, which I think is fascinating because that's an incredible area. And before we go, just one more visual I want to pick up. Turn around, Steve. Come this way, Steve. Just stick in between these guys here. These guys are doing physical lock picking. It's in advanced ways you can work your way up through different models of locks, use different tools, ask for help. This is a great way to learn some of those possibilities that you need to be aware of. With that, I'll go back to the studio. Steve.
Well, thank you so much. I guess I now need to change the locks on my house. Thank you so much for that, Rob. I appreciate that. All right, so we are back in Studio A, and right now I am joined on set by my Thousand Eyes team. So Kamal, Principal Analyst for us here. I've got Mike Hicks with us here, Principal Solutions Analyst. I am so glad that you're here, gentlemen. Thank you. How's the show going so far?
Yeah, no problem. It's going really well, actually. It's great to see a dynamic here, and we're getting a lot of questions, a lot of people to understand. It's brilliant.
Love that.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, it's such a pleasure here. All right, so come on, Mike. You guys are members of the Internet Intelligence team at Thousand Eyes. We're going to dig into that a bit. This is really such a standout SaaS technology. Cisco acquired Thousand Eyes in 2020 to help users see any network, including the internet, as if it were really their own private environment, which I think is just so cool. So tell us about the Internet Intelligence team a little bit. Tell us how you are using the power of Thousand Eyes to uncover and share insights and information about the health of the global internet. So Mike, let's just go ahead and start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have all this great data out there. So we have sort of billions of metrics and measurements we're doing on a daily basis. So when something does happen, when we're dealing with the internet, you talked about the black black box. When something breaks out there or goes awry or goes funky, people come to us and say, what's going on the internet there, or what's causing this situation to occur. So we have sort of three main efforts we'll do sort of within the team to actually look at that. The first one is the one anyone can do, is a public-facing outage map. So within there, you can actually go and you can say, it's not me, it's you, type of scenario. See what's going on there. Looking at a significant network outage or an application outage. That's powered by, say, our metrics underneath it. And it's powered by Internet Insights, which is a ThousandEyes product available to customers, which you can sort of drill down into. Then the next thing is, as much as there's not outages going on all the time, we want people to keep an understanding of what's going on, so the pulse of the internet as it was, the health, the mood ring, as it were, from there. So we run a bi-weekly blog and a podcast series where we'll actually sort of dive into the numbers. We're collecting thousands of metrics, billions of metrics out from there, and I spend my days just looking at the numbers and looking for patterns and trends and tricks within there. And we'll do that and we'll share that with you, as well as talking about sort of notable outages that happened over the previous couple of weeks there. And then the third scenario we do is things will break, things go down there, and if there's something that's of a global proportions or raises the attention globally through the media, and then people are coming to us from a journalistic perspective, then we'll actually sort of mobilise the team and we'll do a more in-depth podcast and webinar and blog series that talks about the outage itself.
Perfect. I want to talk about another element of the story. Could be a negative, it's actually a positive. We had an outage yesterday here during our broadcast, right? This is actually kind of a cool success story for ThousandEyes, isn't it? So Kamal, tell us a little bit about that if you would.
Yes, thanks for asking. So what happened yesterday on 7th essentially is that at 3:55 UTC approximately, one of the Microsoft very popular services, Outlook, had the outage, as part of which users across the globe were not able to actually access it. And when it comes to this outage, it actually looked very familiar to one that happened just recently, unfortunately for Microsoft, on 25th, but there was a clear difference between these two events. The first one was, the event on the 25th was a purely network-related issue. We saw it happening inside out, as part of which there was a BGP-related event that cascaded into high amounts of packet loss, ultimately affecting multiple different services. This time around, it was purely application-related issue, as part of which we saw server timeouts, and it was just affecting Outlook this time around. However, the really important message here for all of our listeners and customers is the one about the visibility, right? We are now in 2023, and if you are learning about these types of events from your customers, you really need to reevaluate what you are doing, right? And the other thing is, if you think about it, Microsoft is this large company and they have their stuff figured out. And majority of the customers that are utilizing these services are smaller companies, enterprises, and other companies, right? So it's quite easy to ask yourself, is it me or is it them, right? By having ThousandEyes, you can quite easily answer that question.
Absolutely. All right, so I think the logical place that we have to go is what is happening with you guys over next door? What are you hearing from customers? So when people come in, what do you sense they're getting excited about here at the show? What are they asking you about most? So meaning what's prevalent to them? Yeah,
absolutely. So they're asking anything. We're talking about this black box situation. You mentioned up front, ThousandEyes can see across the visibility of applications, networks you do not own. We're living in a SaaS world. The world's grown. We've got more dependencies. We have hybrid work. We're working from anywhere. We're collaborating. We need all this together. This is different bits of connectivity required there, and we're relying on the internet. A black box situation. They're asking us how to get visibility. But actually quite interesting, they're also starting to move away from this break fix. How can we share this information? How can we get to a continuous improvement? So there's lots of sort of self-correcting mechanisms placed from there. We're rerouting stuff within the internet that goes from there. So connectivity is less of an issue. We still have problems going on from there, as we identify, but it's how can I make it better? How can I improve my performance? How can I achieve digital equity for all my users? I'm based out of Perth in Western Australia. I'm connected by a bit of wet string to the internet, but I want the same performance as if I'm actually sitting in HQ in San Jose from there. So to do that, I might need to tune my applications. And to do that, I need the insight that I can provide from a Thousand Eyes perspective.
Absolutely. All right, last question. People want to learn more about Thousand Eyes. Where do they do it?
So the perfect place to go initially to find out more about events is thousandeyes.com/outages, where you can find like our global map of the outages that can be application or network related. Important thing about this one is that it's based on data. It's not sentiment driven, it's actually data driven, which is quite important distinction between everything that's out there and what we are doing. The other one is please subscribe to our podcast, the Internet Report podcast, and the Internet Pulse. We publish it, to Mark's point, every 2 weeks. And in general, thousandeyes.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you were able to stop by the studio. Keep going to visit Thousand Eyes, everybody. So thank you so much. All right, we are headed into our next partner session. This time we've got Darren Fulwell with us with Julian Manteau, network architect with Airbus Operations SAS. What we're going to hear about now is network assurance with a holistic view for the network practitioner. Please go enjoy the partner conversation. We will meet you right back here in Studio A as soon as we're done. Away you go.